When we think about autism, we usually expect a socially awkward person who is fascinated with technology and who cannot empathize with others. But not everyone experiences autism in the same way. Women with autism may appear friendly and compassionate, have a relationship, children and friends, and sometimes even have a career in social work. Autism only becomes apparent when they get stuck or when they begin to realize that many things cost an excessive amount of effort. Many of the autistic women get a late diagnosis or have difficulty getting the support they need. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that can result in difficulties in communication, social interaction, information processing, and behavior. That standard picture is mainly based on research among boys and men. Girls and women with autism do not directly fit this image. Modern research suggests this may be a reason for a lower prevalence of this disorder among women. So autism by women is more often unrecognized. Why are girls and women so much more likely to hide their symptoms than men? It seems that the difference between autistic girls and non-autistic girls is greater than the difference between autistic boys and non-autistic boys. Autistic girls, therefore, feel from an early age that they are different when interacting with the same sex. For example, because they are not so chatty and have less interest in boys and relationships. But they want so badly to be accepted. In addition, girls and women are expected from a young age to be much more social and fulfill different roles. That pressure is greater than for boys, and even in adulthood, less is expected of men in the social field. If a man is silent and withdrawn and is less involved in raising his children, no one finds that really strange. Girls observe how others behave in social situations and mirror their behavior. This often happens unconsciously. Intelligent autistic men sometimes do this as well, but women seem to be better at it. Autistic females often develop interests similar to non-autistic girls, like celebrities, makeup, and books. While autistic boys are obsessive about technology, trends, or galaxies, girls are often overly interested in human behavior. For example, they read a lot of psychology books and ask a lot of questions in order to understand people better. But this way of dealing with autism makes them appear less and less autistic as the years go by. As they get older, they learn more and more about how they're supposed to behave, and thus become better at hiding the symptoms. The problem is they do not receive the right help, judging themselves harshly for finding life difficult. Little research has been done on female autism, but a number of studies and clinical practice do provide some insights. First of all, women with autism can make friends, but find it difficult to maintain these friendships. Besides, they often find it difficult to understand and respond to social cues. They often feel socially anxious, ruminating on their social interactions. While autistic women may interact well in one-to-one situations, they often find it very hard to function in groups. Intensive social interaction exhausts them. An autistic woman tends to have a more direct communication style. She may share a thought that seems harmless to her, but the other person takes it as an insult. As a result, it feels very confusing and she feels misunderstood. Autistic women are more sensitive than men to sensory stimuli such as sounds, touch, tastes, and smells. For someone with autism, it's not just a matter of not liking certain things, it's being unable to tolerate them. They often hear statements from their environment such as, "You are too sensitive" or "You are overreacting." As a result, they may start to feel shame and believe there is something wrong with them. That's why they may suffer from depression, anxiety, stress, and loneliness. Just like autistic men, autistic women are not comfortable with unexpected changes, such as changes in appointment location or the presence of new people or even a sudden change in the weather. Set routines, times, particular routes, and rituals all help to get order into unbearably chaotic life. Some may prefer to eat the same food at every meal or wear the same type of clothing. They are also very precise and perfectionistic in their thinking and work. Many women with autism are skilled researchers and are successful in careers or hobbies which require a high level of intense focus. At the same time, they often have normal hobbies, but they spend excessive amount of time on them. Such intense interests are typical of autism. Women with autism often have problems with emotional regulation. Research has shown that there is a poor connection between the frontal cortex and the amygdala in the brain. Remarkable, autistic women are significantly more likely to be bisexual or asexual than other women. Of course, not every introvert, sensitive to stimuli, and a bit socially awkward woman has autism. The fact that someone reads a lot is not immediately a sign of an autism spectrum disorder. But does excessive reading cause problems, and to what extent? Like if a person can't stop reading or has to take a lot of notes and go to bed too late because of this and cannot function at work the next day. During a relatively quiet stage of life, autistic women may function well. But moving house, having children, or a new job is accompanied with a lot of stimuli and stress which they can't handle. There are, for example, nurses with autism who teach themselves standard empathy phrases when dealing with patients. These women also camouflage their symptoms. Instead of making real eye contact, which can be very difficult for someone with autism, they look at the bridge of the other person's nose. It's emotionally draining to constantly observe, analyze, and adjust your natural behavior. These adjustments take so much energy that autistic women are often chronically overloaded. They may seek help because of symptoms of anxiety or depression, a burnout, or problems with addiction. The smarter the woman is, the more she realizes that she is different from others. As a result, she may feel very lonely and inferior. I often hear the question, what does it matter if someone knows that they have autism? You can't cure it anyway. That's right, we cannot cure autism, but awareness is of big importance. Often people have stuck several times in their lives or received different diagnoses and treatments that did not really help. For these women, it's often a relief to understand why they kept getting depressed or ended up in a burnout. Receiving a diagnosis can also help ensure that they receive the right kind of support and access any resources available. Women who do receive a diagnosis often finds that it has a positive impact on her confidence and self-esteem. If she and her environment will take her limitation into account, she can learn to make less demands on herself on a social level avoiding overstimulation, making different choices, and organizing life differently. Making arrangements at work and with her partner and children can be helpful as well. In this way, women can ask for understanding and withdraw for a while when necessary. It's about staying in balance. In this case, autistic traits such as analytical thinking and precision can become a strength. That's all for today. If you learned something new from this video, I would love for you to support me with a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and to share this video with your friends. Thank you for staying with me. See you next time.